Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're back again. We are live. Another pre-Dynamite live stream from Russell Purist with the usual Wednesday team. Myself, Big AO, Joe Hulbert, Charlie. And today, we're going to be celebrating Dirty Dominik Mysterio. He's a world champion,
Mm.
Well, not quite a world champion, a North American champion, He's carrying gold. It's we're going to celebrate it like he's a world champion, though. It's about time, you know we're really capturing the heat with this kid. It's real business, man. This is a real promotion. These are the heavyweights we're talking about here. But we got other stuff to talk about. We got CM Punk. He's holding talent meetings. There's been some more G1, of course. What else have we got? AEW Blood and Guts, of course, is the big thing. That is the biggest thing going on tonight. And of course, we're going to preview that show, and we're going to also be doing a watch along over on our Twitch when the show starts as well. So make sure you tapped in for that. First things first, please like, subscribe, super chat if you're feeling generous, and of course, as always, turn on our post notifications. Hope everyone is doing good. Starting with my fellow co-host, Joe Hulbert. I'll start with you today, my good friend. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little bit concerned about your approach to this show. I did not get the format beforehand. Usually, folks, we have kind of extensive scripting before, but I've been told we're calling this one in the ring. If we're calling it in the ring, what you just did, Monty's intro there was basically like starting a match with like Brainbuster, like he went full Hanaro, But nonetheless, happy to be here. Just wrapped up. We did a little 2-hour deal over on Late Night Green Twitch, which was a lot of fun. So I'm warmed up, ready to go. I don't like coming these things cold. When you're dealing with real pros, when I'm doing a show with Manny, I can kind of show up. He'll be all right,
Yeah.
But Charlie, they're heavy hitters. I have to come in prepared, so I'm fired up.
Boots on.
Bring in your A game.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Happy to hear it. Charlie, throw it to you next. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm very, very excited for Blood and Guts. Kota Ibushi's first match in AEW, which is insane that it's Blood and Guts, but it's Kota Ibushi, so who's surprised? But yeah, I'm ready to go. Excited. It's been an interesting G1, and I'm excited to talk about that as well, because Hanare is currently the superstar of it, and who would have thought that? So
the talk of the town.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely is, especially on our circle of Twitter anyway. Of course, Big AO, how are you doing on this fine Wednesday evening?
I was doing pretty good, man. I saw the rundown. I saw the rundown sheet for the show. Didn't know we were going to be talking about Dom or really today's G1. So I went. I watched the match real fast. I'm gonna share my thoughts, the match and this whole title situation when we get to that part of the show. Then I also, I snuck in Shingo Hanare right before the show. It was a really good palate cleansing. And then you just came in here with this disgusting talk, like we're all just like Dom
we're here, bro.
Fans, right? I'm not even gonna let you lie to the people about you being a Dom fan because I actually remember a couple months ago, right before WrestleMania, I was just like, yo, good for Dom for getting over despite not being able to wrestle. He has major heat. But what's gonna happen with him after like the Ray feud? Like after Ray beats him, like who cares? And you agreed with me that Dom would be dead in the water. So I don't want to see all this revisionist history that you've just been on the long haul. Dom's just been your guy this whole time.
I'm not saying that.
By now.
I'm saying right now, today, on July 19th, 2023, Dominik Mysterio is the North American champion. It's the right thing to do. And I'm happy it happened. And the heat is tremendous. And it's just, it's real graps, bro. We say, we kind of overuse the term a lot over here. Recipe.
We do? I didn't know.
We say real graps. We'll probably put it on a shirt or some shit one day, But like that stuff last night, the people know what real graps is, and they came up for it. And bro, Dominik Mysterio, man, this is what a revelation. As I always said, it was kind of, you saw the heat he was getting pre WrestleMania going into that feud. You see him come out of the fucking armored police fan at Mania after Rey Mysterio comes out with Snoop Dogg, And this is the peak. This is as good as it gets. And I'm not saying we've reached those levels quite again,
No.
But we've kept the momentum going, baby. We've been doing the damn thing. Judgment Day, of course, been killing it. Absolutely killing it. They're a central part of the show, and they've gone all in with them. Dominik Mysterio's heat is, it's not faded. It's picked up again even more recently. So, and now he's got a belt to walk around with, which is, here we go. This is this is what it's all about. But it's not. But it is for me. Joe, I know you're really happy about this. You was texting me in excitement at 3:07 a.m. and
You know what? That's fitting. That was a fitting
that we
freeze you
witnessed.
sustained there. It was a fitting freeze. I was very excited. Definitely a thing I knew was happening. I was definitely paying attention closely as it aired live. I'm definitely texting you at 3:07 a.m. Definitely wasn't the case for me returning at the time. I'm like 4:30 to see people mad that Wes Lee had lost the North American title to Dominik Mysterio, and just said, "Man, I'm glad someone cares." But
the right decision.
In all seriousness, it's a good bit, which is what professional wrestling should strive to be. If it's not going to be great, it should always strive to be a good bit. You're right that Dominik having the North American NXT title around his waist on Raw is very funny. The match was bad, which makes this actually funnier, I think, on some level. I think that's all I've got. I mean, I'm kind of amazed that I'll say this. As a friend of yours, I'm happy that you're in this state than being like actively angry about the usage of the North American title, which I think is much worse.
That's the worst.
That seems bad. Yeah, I was kind of amazed that was the thing last night.
I'm so far removed from that part of Twitter that I didn't see any of that happen. But I know exactly what part of Twitter you're fucking talking about.
Bro, doom and gloom, bro.
It's a very specific dynamic.
It's like. It just, I'm not even saying it to be a dick because like I care about stuff that's less important than that. It's wrestling, But like it did amaze me. I've got to be honest. But I mean, it's a funny deal, and I will agree with you. The reaction to the finish was incredible. And actually played better in that small building. The match wasn't good at all. But fuck it.
Makes it sweeter,
He's got his shitty indie gear.
There was a scary botch in there, I was trying to send it to me to dampen the parade. I wasn't having it, bro.
Purest Galaxy, what happened? Hold on, let me go to me and Monty's DMs because this is just a nasty man right here. All right. So I watched the clip. I didn't watch the match, right? I didn't even know what was going on. No, I did because I asked Monty if Don was going to go over, and Monty said he fucking better. But right, so the match was going on last night. I see a clip float across my timeline of Dom Mysterio trying to I don't know if you want to call this a backdrop suplex or what, but he was trying to do something to Wesley, and he absolutely just it was a complete box. It wasn't one of those all Japan, I'm gonna throw you on your neck Kota Ibushi bumps. He just dropped him on his neck.
Yeah,
and I sent it to Monty. And I said, question mark, question mark, question mark. And he said, is that not just real wrestling? When Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay do it, we all jump up and down. This is a disgusting thing. He's sick.
That's incredible.
What a comparison.
I mean, it's true. Is it not true? We all jump up and down when, we see. I'm telling you.
It didn't look cool, though. He just, dumped him. He didn't even... He didn't throw him. He just sort of dropped.
He's meant to be a bit shitty. It's like, sometimes you might go a little far with it, but we're here for it. It's Joe. You mentioned the reaction being better in that little NXT building, and it's like a lot of them. Sometimes they'll play along with anything, to the point where you even roll your eyes a lot of the times if you watch the shows. But when they really pop for someone, like a main roster star coming down or something, they really
that is always fun. Yeah.
It's insane, the way they'll pop for anyone, Ziggler was going down and getting huge pops. So when they realised, when the rest of the Judgment Day got involved towards the end of this match, and they realised what was going on, the way they all came up,
that was funny. Yeah, that was good TV. I will say the finish was very fun. That moment was all about, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about moments, this business,
I haven't had no investment in the NA title since Swerve won it, and before that, Adam Cole. I don't give a fuck, bro. But it was good TV. I think I want to like Dom Mysterio because I love Ray, I love Eddie, I like Guerrero, Mysterio family means a lot to my childhood. in wrestling and shit. So it's not like I want to have an agenda against Dom. I wish he was good. He fucking sucks. I am happy for him that he was able to get over in spite of all of that. I watched the match because I didn't see many like reviews about the match on the timeline at all, except for that one drop. That's all I saw. And I watched it. It fucking sucks, bro. Like at least like Dom's like trying to like do some moves that'll suit him better than like just being oversized Ray, but it's still not. He's still not very good. Hey man, at least he got a nice little moment last night. He got heat from the crowd. The people watching it liked it. It popped Monty. I think it's kind of funny. So I'm all for it, bro. It was terrible.
Man,
I spent ages saying I wanted Dom Mysterio to go down to NXT, so I guess I got my wish. I just hope he improves now. That's all I wanted.
You don't need to. He's good enough.
I've got to say, the more we've talked about this, the back suplex where he just dropped Wesley is much funnier through the lens of the main roster pro returning, like going down to NXT.
Come on, bro.
I'll show you a thing or two, brother. Let me give you that back suplex,
Right.
I had faith that the match was going to be decent because I like Wesley a lot.
He's very good.
And I was like, you know what? It's been a long time since I've seen Dom Mysterio wrestle. Not really. I saw that Cody match. That was terrible. I don't know, man. I thought Wesley was going to be able to get him through.
Cody match was fun, man.
Cody couldn't get him through it either. It was fun, but the wrestling wasn't good.
It's not meant to be.
Dom, man. I don't know. I hope he gets better. At least he's over, I guess.
Yeah, man. He's they're all having a good time down there. The Office fucking love him, And Judgment Day just genuine main players all across WWE now. But yeah, there was quite a lot of, as Joe's mentioned, like, doom and gloom, like, as if they've done this to the North American title, blah blah blah. And Wesley, when he first got the title, I was kind of like, whatever, wasn't really into it, but he had a really good reign, man. He was wrestling most weeks. He'd done open challenges. He had good pay-per-view matches. He's had memorable matches. He's had a really good reign, man. There weren't really much else he could do with it. I know it seemed like they were setting up a title defense versus Mustafa Ali at the Great American Bash, but anyone who knows me knows that I wouldn't really be too excited for that, And last night, that kind of was the reason why I wrote off Dom winning, and
that's why you pop so much, right?
Yeah.
I want to be clear because I was dismissive earlier, but it's not a critique of Wesley. It's like it's the NXT belt. It's like NXT now is back to me in my mind to being where it's like if you're a guy like him, you want to go up. That's the way I think of it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe maybe we've.
Yeah, of course.
I thought we'd moved away from that. So to me, it's like it doesn't matter if he continues to have the mid card. So I was like, he did a hell of a job with the belt. Hopefully that helps his chance of getting on Raw or SmackDown and making real money on the real show. And I don't even mean that to be, but it's like that's what they framed NXT as again. Now I understand now it's not 2.0, but I didn't realize people.
It's still not a place where you want to like have a career.
Right. It's
back
a
in the day,
bridge.
people were like, "Oh yeah, I want to have a 10-year NXT run. That would be great."
Yeah.
Like, no, people are trying to get out of there again.
Yeah, it's a bridge to get to bigger things. So for me, it's like it's the mid card belt too. It's like, here's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, just these Judgment Day filled NXTs the past couple of weeks. It's been good business. As not the rating came out like an hour or so ago, and they've done like 750,000 viewers or something like that last night. So
fucking rating, bro.
Then got them back into the point twos again. It's the legit stars, bro. The legit stars, the Judgment Day are, and obviously people. Dominik's just he's got all the heat. Rhea's like the main central. They're all good, Damian Priest has got the fucking money in the bank briefcase. Finn's the legend of the game, It's they're cooking over there.
A year ago though, like when Edge formed his group, who would have thought that they'd be like the second most over faction in the company a year later, bro?
Genuinely, it's the actual triumph of Triple H's regime. Like actually, because
it really is. Bro.
It's the most impressive one, right? Like it's one thing to just let Paul Lee and Roman do the thing with the bloodline, but like that Judgment Day act was terrible.
It was just like the Fed bad guys could shit on it. WWE fans would just look at the tweets and be like, "Well, yeah, they're right." They're not even gonna argue with you about it. Like they thought it was bad too. Nobody likes that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I came through, and it's just it's good business, literally. um, but yeah, like I said, Wesley, he had a good reign, man. So shout out to him, and hopefully he does move up, whether that's to the NXT title or to the main roster, and he's making some real money over
He's
there.
fucking 30-something years old now, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's a really good talent, genuinely. He has been for a while.
Wesley a lot.
Yeah, really talented guy.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, shout out Dirty Dom, 10 out of 10, no notes. Anyway, let's dive into some super chats. Pretty Patel, $5. Joe, come over. My parents aren't home because I had them deported. Lols. Very dark. Very dark,
This
Joe.
British politician gimmick it's good
getting
stuff, man.
It's getting out of hand.
Is incredible.
It's getting out of hand,
It's some good stuff.
Different eras,
It is.
modern, ancient,
But they're all conservative.
Without foul.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even an attempt to like balance it out. It's a sustained beating in that regard. I mean, it's what it is, folks. It is what it is.
At least you got Princess Diana.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
Willie 199. Shout out World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, 4.75 star bootlicker.
Seth is nasty, man. He's a nasty man.
It was
Talking
an
about the benefits of not being in a union. What is wrong with you?
I'm telling you, bro. It's anytime he gets a world title, he starts doing this again. It's a curse. I'm telling you. I think he means well. He gets that belt. He turns into an animal. A sicko.
Thank you for just reminding people constantly why I fucking hate you, bro. Not as a person, as a media personality and athlete.
Brainbuster 499, appreciate it. Yeah. Saw some elite fans on the timeline theorise about some sort of elite betrayal tonight. Well, I need to ask Charlie, do you see anything like that happening?
If Kota Ibushi signs with AEW, maybe. But I don't think you'll see it in Blood and Guts. I think if that happens, it'll be down the line. I don't think it'll be tonight.
Who turning on who, Chuck?
At this point? I could see the Bucks pulling away from Kenny again. But I don't know. So it'd kind of be like the Hung Bucks versus the Golden Lovers, so hopefully not anytime soon, but it's always something to explore.
It doesn't feel at the time, but
a lot
the
of big
match
shows
obviously is
coming up,
compelling. But yeah,
a lot of big shows coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell of a match for Wembley.
There
oh
you
my
go.
god, yeah, we don't know what the Bucks are doing at Wembley yet, so who knows?
There you have it.
Better than some options.
Right, Mavsan 199. Appreciate you. Calling it right now. Hinare is breakout wrestler of 2023.
Look,
bro,
he's making me question my beliefs. Quite frankly, he's
incredible. Like his last two matches have been like the best matches of the G1.
He's an animal.
Has something really clicked here? Like, is this just gonna be him from now on?
Yeah,
I hope so.
This is it, bro. This is it.
This team block is full of some
we
real
made
talent.
it.
He's shining. So.
I saw Manny's video where he announced he was the best wrestler in the world, and I said,
"Man, he was like sweating, panting."
There was something uncomfortable about that video, wasn't there? There was something unsettling about it. There was All I'm going to say is I hope he hasn't gone too far with the Hinare fandom, because I may question my beliefs, but Hooper can be easily swayed. That's all I'm going to say, folks. We'll leave it at that.
He's got a hole to fill because of Roosh isn't an option anymore. So he saw those Hinare matches. He's like, "Oh, there you go."
I got him so mad yesterday morning. Didn't know what he was going on about Roosh, and I said, "Who cares, bro? He never even won on Dynamite. He's a jobber." I only had like 2 minutes, so I just sent this and was like, "Let's just leave that there." And Manny was like, "Huh? What? What do you?" Pop myself.
Yeah. God bless, man. Hanaro's an
Yeah,
animal,
Hanaro.
though, man.
He
Breakout
is.
wrestler of the year. You know, he's on a steamroll at the minute. You know,
Yeah, man.
he's having
He's not
memorable
Eddie
matches
Nate,
left, right,
so-
and centre.
Yeah.
Bro, very much like I always said, I only just literally finished watching Hanare versus Shingo. Like, well, how deep are we into this? We're 20 minutes in, so about 30 minutes ago I finished watching that. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. And then you just see as he's walking around and it just pops up at the bottom, like, Hanare versus Eddie Kingston next thing. Like, Jesus.
I'm so
nice.
excited.
Yeah.
It's that has a lot of potential right there, you know.
I gotta be honest. When I saw the graphic, I went full Hooper. I was like, Eddie's fucked. I think it's over. He's gonna be coming home early. He ain't making it through that one. You know, I was concerned for him. He had to snap out of it.
He's an animal, literally.
He is.
He's got like full umaga, you know. Like he's got like, he's an animal. But yeah, man, what a beast. Hopefully he keeps it going. I'm sure he will. Shy Town Spurs, normal regular, of course. Always appreciate him with the $10. Monty's excitement about Tony D got me to tune into NXT last night. WWE, where's my check? Awful show, but metaphor is hilarious. Lash tossing. Bro, did you see this? Noam Dar's just like fucking out. I don't know what's going on. I don't pay too much attention when he's on, you know. But like, they're rolling him in the ring as he's like just passed out. And you know, it's a distraction for the referee, and then Dijak gets involved on the other side. It was very
Who's metaphor?
It's Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, Noam Dar, and Oro Mensa.
Oh,
Hell of a group, you know?
I know 2.5 of those names.
the Avengers.
Yeah. That's what it is, though. It's a shitter group, and, you know.
That's fine. I haven't seen
They
it.
very much play into it, you know?
Is Lash wrestling again, or?
Not really. Probably on NXT level, but like.
What a fucking show. What a show.
There you go, you know? But yeah, man, it was a hell of a spot last night. I don't even know if I'd quite recommend checking it out.
Did y'all see Monty tweet? Sammy and Steen. He said Sammy and Steen, the Golden Lovers. Tony D and Stacks. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't see that. That's
Real
amazing.
friendship, bro. What do you want from me?
It's Tony D and Stacks. I know Tony
Listen.
D and Stacks, bro.
Listen, they go way back. They're setting up these master plans, you know. Tony D's in and out of prison, you know. It's real stuff. Stacks could have ratted him out, bro. Things got sketchy for a minute, but you know, real friendship always comes through, and
True.
you know, again, like, bro, when Kenny Omega does it, people jump up and down, but when it happens in the land of NXT, the people don't want to know the real music, you know. It's crazy.
I want y'all to know this is not a bit Monty's doing to entertain y'all. When we were in the WrestlePeers chat, I trolled Monty about Tony D. Like, I sent like 2 messages, bro. Like 6-7 months ago, I sent like 2 messages. Monty flips the fuck out on me. He like, bro,
You gotta know, bro.
I know you do your little bit, but not with Tony D. Like, he was so mad, bro. And usually, like, Monty loves the Usos. I can insult the Usos all day and night. Monty's not gonna say anything, bro. Cash is Monty's guy. I can shit on Cash all day, all night. Monty's just like, oh, it's just AO doing his bit. I said 2 things about Tony D, and Monty was ready to fire me, bro.
Hey man, he's what a star, you know. That homecoming last night, fucking tremendous, just fucking tremendous. He caught everyone's eye at the start because, of course, like, look at the gimmick, it's absurd, you know. Bro, he's fucking running with it, man. You know, he's cutting these promos and these fucking cinematic fucking skits and shit that they do when he's in the jail. And when, like, I'll never forget the fucking Legado feud, Legado del Fantasma with Escobar, and they're like having like these mafia meetings on yachts and shit, bro. It was fucking art, you know. Like,
I would catch those clips on Twitter.
and he can wrestle, bro.
Yeah.
throws them
Really
suplexes around.
Bro, I saw him
Really
throwing
decent
around Saito
absolute beast.
suplexes on NXT. I was like, what the fuck they got going on down there?
His match with Pete Dunne was great. One of them, can't remember which one, but one of them was great.
You can do it all.
Mm-hmm.
Lock it in, Joe. You know. Not sure
Oh.
about future main eventer, but
Yeah.
we got something there. We got something there.
All right, mate.
You know.
I'm just glad you're happy.
Oh, so am I, mate. You know. I was having I had a whale of a time last night. Let me tell you.
We noticed.
Yeah, my live tweets were very much like the one I brought up. You know, going a bit mental. Anyway, CM Punk is having talent meetings. You know, he's rounding up the Collision troops, the Colliders. He's firing them up. It seems. Many topics are being brought up, such as how they can differentiate themselves from the Wednesday show, including how they do finishes and, you know, do's and don'ts and that kind of thing. This report is, of course, on Fault for Select, talking about I believe it's the July 8th AEW Collision. And, you know, CM Punk is absolutely, you know, like I said, he's rounding up the troops, and that's definitely feels like how he sees it, you know. He's got his colliders. And it's them versus the world, Joe. What do you think?
Well, I think it sounds like a positive. It sounds like a positive, honestly, the way they're approaching it. I think, you know, if they wanted more content, this is one of the better scenarios to do that, because at least that mindset is allowing for a different show, right? Like Dynamite and Collision do different things, which is necessary, because I think just doing a double dosage of Dynamite would have hurt Wednesday. So at least it has its own identity, and I think that's built in kind of the way it's came about. I do worry a little bit about it being so kind of militant and serious, the Collider element of this, that it stays as a very small group. Because let's be real, Collision's roster right now is a very small group. And I kind of wonder why that is at times, and think that maybe some folks on that side of things may be taking it a little bit seriously in terms of who's in and who's out. Because they're going to need some depth in the coming months, right? It's okay right now. They've got fresh matchups, but you're already burning through some of them. So I like it. I'm loving Collision as a fan. I think it's necessary to try and differentiate yourself, because otherwise, why does the show exist? But the one thing I would say is I do hope that there's some, the roster kind of expands here in the coming weeks and months. I think that's important.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Charlie, are you enjoying Collision so far? And are you feeling it? Does it feel different to Dynamite to you, etc., etc.?
It definitely feels different to Dynamite. I'm enjoying parts of Collision. I really like the fact that they're focusing on the tag belts and they're actually doing stuff with them. But yeah, like Joe was saying, they definitely need to expand the roster and make sure they keep things fresh, because it all still feels new and exciting at the moment for the most part. So if they can keep embracing that, they're just going to keep succeeding with it. So, and that's what you really want for the company, isn't it? Just for this to be a net positive at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, definitely. I have a feeling that you may have something to say about CM Punk rounding up the troops.
You want to know my opinion on CM Punk's clan rallies they just throwing on Saturdays?
Hold on.
It's to me, it's just disgusting that a man just cause further divisiveness among the AEW community, among the roster. They're back there, they're burning the Young Bucks in effigy. It's disgusting business. And Jay and Juice, they would never take part in any of this. They're just minding their business. But the rest of those Collision guys, bro, it's fucking cancer over there on Saturdays, ain't it?
I think when Juice Robinson looks back at his 2023, and he looks at all the strides he's made, I think the top of the list should be getting on AO's good list of 2 people for Collision. I think that's very
I've always been a Juice guy. Even back when Monty would ask me if it was a bit, Monty would insult him. You bring up Juice Robinson, Monty spin in his direction, and I was always a Juice guy. Monty and Ibu, let it be known. They used to think I was joking when I said it was rock hard gang.
I respect that, but would you say you've been even still slightly surprised at just how great he's been as because he has been
Look, man, I never
weeks.
liked
real
that
ones
he
knew
gets
how
this
good he
over
was.
with the AEW audience, and it being because of like the work he's doing, like bell to bell.
When he was doing the jabs last week and they were doing the juice chants, and he was like
I'm
Randy
happy
Savage.
for him, bro. I'm happy for him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
He does a lot of Randy Savage shit, like the way he hits the ropes and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I may have just made this up. I'm pretty sure that's a lot of where his stuff comes from.
Probably, mate.
Which is real graps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, man. CM Punk, he's rallying the people up, man.
Look at this strategic placement before Blood Guts 2 for Punk to leak that story out there.
I don't know if we should use the word rallying, Monty. You know, I think we're kind of
rally sounds about right.
Well,
depends who you ask, you know.
Rally sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's touch on the G1 Climax. I'll keep it pretty simple. Favorite matches so far over the past couple of days. Charlotte. Sticking it on you first.
I was eating.
That's what you get. Don't eat on podcast.
I mean, the Henare Shingo match, the Eddie Shingo match, a lot of Block C. If you ignore like Evil, Block C's been pretty solid. And what else? There was another match that I really enjoyed. Can't remember what it was, so we'll stick with the Block C stuff. Pretty good.
I think I know what it is, and I'm happy you never said it. Anyway.
David Finley's been great, guys.
No, fucking hell, man.
What
are we doing? I thought we got away with it. I should have shut the fuck up.
Let's be fair, the Ishii match was good.
It was.
I have no comment on the match with old Michael Nichols.
I'll be real, I didn't think the Ishii match was like, it was just a run-of-the-mill Ishii match. Like,
well, that match fucking rules. The run-of-the-mill Ishii match is a good match.
It does, but it's like, it's not, you know. I see Charlie's tweeted about David Finley 16 times since that match. It's not right, Joe.
Charlie's victory after that match was a little excessive.
This is getting out of hand. Now, Monty, you cannot be coming for someone today about tweeting too much about a wrestler who had a bad match. That is
talk about real stars, Joe.
Bro, it is the BCC versus the Elite Blood and Guts today, and our thumbnail is Dom Mysterio.
This is not the right day for that approach. I'm sorry.
Listen, I just think Finley's doing good stuff, and he's leading the best Bullet Club there's been in years.
There's good stuff in Bullet Club.
He'll be in Orlando soon.
There is good stuff in Bullet Club.
I'm a big fan of his dad. That's the best I've got.
He really leans into being a Nepo baby, and his promos make me laugh a lot.
Gotta respect it, folks. Gotta respect it. Other matches. We'll throw out other matches. I thought Tanahashi and Zack was a really good time. I thought it was the best Tanahashi match I've seen in a while because he was able to just work the mat. I will say I'm deeply uncomfortable with these things that he's wearing in his arms. It's got to be another way, man.
He's a pretty deadly fan.
What's going on over here, man? Like,
I don't know. They just wear a tracksuit or something, bro. You made me uncomfortable. It's like one or the other. You know, it's outrageous.
He's found a new lease in life, and he's wearing the gear to represent it. It's great. Let Tanahashi do his thing.
He was just like bisexual '90s HBK, and I was like, you know what?
God, with the hair as well.
It's a lot.
Shout out the Ace.
Absolutely.
It's a great look. I enjoy it.
And I liked his match with Zack. That one was a good one. I'm trying to think of any others that have. It hasn't been. I think it's been a stellar start to the tournament.
Yeah.
You know, I think Yota Tsuji has stood out. I like his match with Kaito. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it out with Shota and Ren. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm still finding my way with those two fellas. I'm much more into Tsuji thus far because he has a physical charisma, you know. So
he's real charismatic, and the crowds are into him, and he rides it really well. So he's I like out of the three musketeers, as they call him recently. I'd say he shows like the most promising of like being able to kind of like carry that weight, you know.
Yeah, as a top guy, yeah.
Shota, I think he is promising. You know, he's got a great look, etc. His work looks good. Rennerita, bro, I
He's
don't
not
buy it,
brutal
AO.
enough.
He's
I
real, man.
don't
I'm
buy
telling
it,
you, he's
man.
real.
It's like
I like Rennerita, but I don't
He's
think he lays
real.
his stuff in enough. He needs to be more
Yeah.
brutal about it.
He does.
If he's gonna like do the basic gear in that, he needs to show more in his wrestling.
Absolutely.
it's like I was saying to Joe earlier. It's like his gimmick, or whatever you want to call it, is his presentation. It requires a certain like physical charisma, a certain level of intensity, a certain aura. And I don't think he has any of those things. So, of
When
course,
did we
he's
talk about
very.
this? Did we talk about this?
I mentioned it to you probably about. Does it matter? I was about to like go through. I was about to go through a chat that we're in.
I was having a really. I don't know. I don't
It
remember.
might have been here, but you're in the chat. There we go.
Sorry, mate. Go on. Where was you? I was very confused.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Rennerita rent him. Is what you're making me say it again. You tell me that he is.
All three of them are real, bro. All three of them in the future. Big fan of all three of them. Look, I was the shooter guy, and I'm still the shooter guy. I think he's a top guy in the company. But bro, Yota Tsuji coming back and just immediately becoming the greatest professional wrestler of all time. It's just
unexpected.
Ren, I like Ren's work a lot. I do think he needs to lay his shit in more. I don't know if he has the shooter background that Shibata had, which is just like why he was kicking the fuck out of people and punching the fuck out of people. But I feel like this is something you can learn with experience. I think he's gonna get there. I think, bro, if Shooter and Tsuji became World Heavyweight Champion tomorrow, I'm happy, bro. Like I'm not upset about it. Like I think they're there. I honestly think they're both there now, especially since New Japan's doing good business with Sonata being the heavyweight champion. Right? It's just like, bro, like you saw in Sonata versus Shooter. Shooter was out wrestling him, and he was more over than him. And Sonata's a babyface champion, bro. It's just like, so why the fuck do we need him as champion? And it's not like we're doing bad. They're doing bad gates with Sonata as the top guy. So it's just like, why not throw it on a good guy? The company's hot. Right, I'm not a good guy, a new guy. The company's hot. I think the name New Japan and then Okada doing stuff on the undercard and everything else they got going on is enough to support the business gate wise. Let's make some new stars here.
I still think Yoya's coming back, man.
I mean, he can come. I like Yuya, but that doesn't say you just being spiteful towards people. I kind of just like publicly pray for his downfall, but I want to see him do well.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's an animal, man. He's just, he's caught in the impact zone.
Happens to the best.
It's happened. Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, it's happened to many greats. It's happened to some of the greatest.
We've lost so many.
From Samoa Joe to Okada,
I never thought he was going to get out.
Endless.
I remember, you used to visit him and think he's just never going to get out of here. I mean, he's just, he's stuck. He can't get out. He's teaming with Nick Aldis. He's the heavy in the beatdown clan. I mean, it's a tough time in that place, but you got to fight out. That's all you can do, folks. All you can do.
Definitely. So let's go over the standings and keep in mind these standings as I go over them because I'm going to ask you who you think is going to win each block. So block A, Sonata has 4 points, Kiyomiya has 4 points, Chase Owens has 2 points, Gabriel Kidd has 2 points, Ren Narita has 2 points, Shooter has 1 point, Yota Tsuji has 1 point, Hikuleo has 0 points. Block B, Okada 4 points, Taichi 4 points, Yoshihashi 2 points, Tangaloa 2 points, Kenta 2 points, Will Ospreay 2 points, Great Okan 0 points, El Fantasmo 0 points. Block C, David Finlay 4 points, Evil 4 points, Mikey Nichols 2 points, Kingston 2 points, Tamatonga 2 points, Hanare 2 points, Shingo and Ishii 0 points. Block D, ZSJ 4 points, Jeff Cobb 4 points, Shane Hayes 2 points, Goto 2 points, Tanahashi 2 points, Naito 2 points, Toru Yano and Alex Coughlin 0 points. Joe.
Yeah.
Hit me with it.
Or for all the groups? Or are
Block
we going to
A,
discuss each one?
the Sonata one.
I think it's the current leaders of the block, right? I think it's Sonata and Kiyomiya to advance. I think the Young Lions are all going to cancel each other out. The world champion is going to advance. And I think Noah's lead guy, basically, crossing over G1, is going to make it out of the block when there's a quarterfinal ahead. So I think it's going to stay as Sonata and Kiyomiya.
Yes.
All right, so Block
That's
B,
what I have to.
the one which is currently led by Okada, which has Will Ospreay, Kenta, Yoshihashi, Taichi.
Tangaloa.
Go ahead,
Great
bro.
Okada.
Lock it in,
I
man.
got Okada and Ospreay coming out of here.
Yeah.
I also
Me
have
too.
Okada and Ospreay down for this one.
Yep.
Definitely think Taichi's going to be presented strongly going through the tournament. I think Ospreay will probably he'll probably qualify for the next round on the last night. I can see that happening. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, Okada's definitely coming out of here.
I've got to say, sorry, Monty, but while we're on Block B, it's been an interesting time for Kenta. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It always is now.
Oh my!
No, I think
it's never been this bad.
Yeah, I actually think it's got considerably worse.
Thank God for 20-minute time limits, because his matches feel about 30 minutes, and they're not even hitting the time limits. So
it's gotten so bad. I'm not even defending Kenta anymore. I'm like me and Rob are like the Kenta defense force around here, bro.
There's a level of it where it's charming that he doesn't care, but it goes past it often where it's like, this is just kind of sad. Like, I mean, he's just it's a shame. Anyway, Monty, carry on, mate. We're at Block C, yeah?
Block C. This is the block that is led by David Finlay. Evil is currently up there with him as well. It's got Kingston. It's got Tamatonga. It's got Hinara. It's got Shingo. It's got Ishii. What we thinking here?
I had Finlay and Eddie penciled in for the top two of this block, but the way they're treating Hinari right now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Finlay and Hinari.
I think Shingo makes a comeback. Finlay and Shingo. I do think Eddie is a dark horse.
Yes.
I think Hinare, his look is such, and he's wrestling in a way where he can kind of, even if he just lands in the middle, he's going to be a headline. You know, I mean, we're talking about him here. So I think Finlay and Shingo, but I'm hoping Eddie creeps out for a quarterfinal match. That'd be a nice treat. But
yeah, definitely.
In my predictions, I had Eddie getting out in second and facing Kiyomiya. So now I just want that match. So
as much as I would love Eddie to make it through, I never had him penciled in as getting out of here. I had Finlay because they are pushing this Bullet Club thing, and he's the new leader. So all right, he's about default getting out of there. I had Shingo getting out, so I'm gonna stick with nothing I'm seeing right now makes me go away from that. You know, we'll see.
Maybe it could come down to a thing where Eddie and Shingo have the same amount of points and Eddie sneaks through on the head-to-head thing, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll be keeping my fingers crossed for Eddie Kingston, you know, and I love Shingo. Yeah. I'll be praying on Finley's downfall. Anyway, Block D. Block D, Zack Sabre Jr. is leading at the moment with Jeff Cobb. Who else we got in here? We got Tanahashi, we got Naito, Goto,
Shane Hayes, Alex Coughlin.
Yeah, they're in it as well.
Yeah, they sure are.
I think Naito and Zack.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I have down. I actually think Naito's winning the whole thing. So.
Yeah, probably. A
lot of people do, yeah.
A lot of people have Naito make it winning the whole thing.
I hate being this guy because everyone has said it already, and let's be honest, we all love the G1 just on concept and romanticism alone, right? It's one of the best things wrestling you, but doing this makes it even more apparent how much fat could have been trimmed here. I mean, it's just it's just no need for some of these blokes to be in it, you know. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's
it is what it is.
It's what happened to the G1 that I know and love, you know.
That card this morning, bro. Like it was just. It was because usually I was like, all right, I'm gonna set my alarm. Let me read this off. Let me read off this fucking card, bro. Give me 1 second. Let me know if you would wake up at 5:30 a.m. to watch this.
Yeah.
No.
Hold on.
It was on at 10:30 for us. I still didn't watch it live.
I
That's
watched.
not the point.
The show ended up being better than the card, but still, man.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get people to tune in.
For the last 2 days, I've just made my own main event, honestly. Let's go. Go on out. Go for it, mate.
We have Zack Sabre Jr. versus Toriano, David Finlay versus Mikey Nichols, Jeff Cobb versus Alex Coughlin, Evil versus Eddie Kingston, Tanahashi versus Shane Hayes, Hanari versus Shingo, which is a match that I would have circled going into
that was my main event. Yeah.
Naito versus Goto, and Tama Tonga versus Ishii. Like, come on, bro.
I like Tama Tonga, but him and Ishii being the main event of a night feels like we all love Ishii, but Ishii never wins, and he's he's underneath guy now. That being the main event is crazy. But, yeah, I don't know. And
I don't know either, man.
I've said this before, and I know it's like, we all admire him, so I don't mean it to be spiteful. I find Naito to be like a challenging watch at this point. His effort is just because it's his act, like his act.
When it's a big match, I get up for Naito matches. I feel like he's gonna at least try to bring it. But something like this, bro, you just know it's gonna happen headed in.
Like when if he gets to the final, which Charlie predicted, I think she's right. Absolutely, I'll tune in and watch him in that spot, But like night 3 against Hiroki Goto, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't need that.
It was a watch for sure.
I believe that.
It happened,
It sure did.
Yeah. Devil's Rising, £2. Appreciate it very much, my good mate. Aaron Hanare versus Lance Anoa'i for the Tribal Chief match. I mean, one day, 2026,
Is he working Noah at the minute?
I think so.
He's like MLW or something.
But
he's the leader of the.
I think he's in Japan
MLW
somewhere. Yeah.
I think they just because do you remember there was that report about like Noah wants Jacob Patu as well, and they were getting Lance. I think was the deal. I think that was what happening. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate it as always. Monty is happy with NXT. His boy Dominik is NXT North American champion, and his favourite female wrestler Tiffany Stratton is still champion. I don't know if she's favourite, but she's that's a future WrestleMania world champion winner, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the feud that she's in at the minute kind of stinks, but she's carrying that belt, brother. Sly,
Doing the bit where what's her name keeps submitting her to chase
Dear
you.
Hale.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say real graps, and I stopped myself because I was informed earlier.
So I was like, no, that's just going too far.
I was just graps,
The Pro Wrestling Podcast, $2. We can stop pretending we like Dom now, lol. Hey, man. Never pretend. No one ever pretends right now. Pretending. Wrestle purists.
There are no bits on this platform.
What are you talking about? Emma Starwin, $5. Appreciate it. Could Ospreay, Kenny, Ishii, Shingo, Io, or Miyahara get a 4-star match with Dom Mysterio?
Yes.
I think they all could.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean this with all respect, and not going to name names. Have you seen some of the wrestlers that Will Ospreay's had 4-star matches with?
Yeah,
he could go 3.5 with me. I reckon I could barely walk. Yeah.
Flips around me, he's gonna be all right, baby.
His formula is like foolproof. Like he can plug guys into his match easily. He absolutely do it, Dom. Definitely.
Yeah, especially with all the heat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooking, bucket.
Well,
Croaky Boy, £5. If the MLB can call it the World Series when it is just North America, then Dom is a world champ. There we go. Croaky back in case,
That's nice.
It's a real one. No, it's not ale. It's real. Devil's Rising, £2. Appreciate you again. I look forward to seeing the IWGP IC title return. They're coming back.
Happened, or was it just no? Because Ospreay was like
Ospreay's just saying things.
Yeah, he's like hinting that he wants to bring it back. He's like, get this fucking American flag off my belt.
Oh,
but, he might it's Will Ospreay. He might just be talking. So
I don't know. I mean, Will Ospreay famously, when he speaks, he thinks about what he's saying. This isn't a guy who just kind of throws things out.
Flies off at the calling. Fucking, I mean, I'll be all for it coming back. I don't know if that's something we should be taking seriously though.
That belt was so cool. Do you remember when that was Shinsuke's belt? How cool that thing was! It was like the go-to example of how to make a secondary belt matter. It was awesome.
Real. But yeah, keep the super chats coming, and we'll come back to them. Let's dive into Dynamite though, man. Of course, we got the watch along coming up after we get out of here. Blood and Guts, of course, we'll start with that because that's the big business. You know, we got Kota Ibushi making his AEW debut. Big stuff going on there. And this is probably the most star-studded Blood and Guts match they've done to date. Probably the one with the highest expectation to date as well. And I think they're going to deliver. Charlie, I know you're very, very fired up for this one.
Absolutely.
One of your biggest nights of the year. Talk to the people about it.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one. Kota Ibushi's probably going to jump off the top of that cage, right? Like, I'm highly anticipating that. If it's not Ibushi, it's going to be Hangman. And I just hope that it all goes well for them when they do that. But this match is going to be great. And I'm very excited to see who the starting men are, because we still don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we've gone into a Blood and Guts in AEW and not known. Have we? I might be remembering that wrong, but...
I still think it's going to be Nick and you.
Sounds about right, to be fair.
Maybe we'll get that Nick and Claudio.
We're not getting it. I've accepted it at this point. I'm just not going to get Nick and Claudio in a singles match. And it is what it is, but this match is going to be fucking awesome. And I'm very, very excited. And I will be on the watch along, so you guys can see my reactions firsthand. So lucky you.
Hooper will also be there, who's been known to react very interestingly to AEW Dynamite watch-alongs, you know. So
sitting with a straight
don't
face
miss it. Resapurist.twitch or whatever the fuck the handle is.
I'll drop it in the chat.
Yeah, it's in the description as well. So, but yeah, man, make sure you head over there after we finish up here. Holbert, Blood and Guts, very it's a big night, man.
It is. It's an insane match. It's a ridiculous collection of talent. You know, I joked about last week. It's even funnier when you consider that Dragon was supposed to be in this match initially, and then it's like it's just ridiculous. And this feud's given a few of those matches, right? We talked about it with Forbidden Door, that kind of talent pool. And here you had Ibushi, you got Pac in there. I mean, this is going to be incredible. I think what makes the Ibushi kind of dynamic more compelling, more fascinating is it goes without saying that he's going to have crazy ideas. He's very seldom without crazy ideas in and out of a wrestling ring.
Right.
But on the other team is John Moxley, and I don't think there's an idea crazy enough that John would say. I'm not sure about that one. Right. So I think whatever idea he has in mind, you're probably going to see come to fruition on Dynamite in a couple of hours here. So it's going to be incredible. I mean, I think there's so much focus on Ibushi that it is worth just reiterating. Like, the Elite's take on this match is going to be really interesting also. They're going to have big ideas, you know, to go with that. I don't think the Young Bucks are showing up to just be like passengers and watch Kota Ibushi do crazy shit. That's not really how they operate. So I think this will probably be spectacular. I think, you know, the floor on this is at the very least it's going to be a hoot. We've often talked in the past about War Games and like the way it's evolved. And I have my issues with that, but I don't really have any concerns about this. This thing's going to be outrageous, I'm sure.
Yeah, like it's ever since NXT brought back like War Games and since AEW's came into the game and they're doing Blood and Guts, like it hasn't quite captured the same magic as like those yesteryear War Games matches, you know. But there's still a great time nonetheless. And
absolutely, yeah. They're just different matches.
Talent, right? They're just different now, you know, and that doesn't mean they're bad, it's just different now. This talent pool going into a match like that is always going to be a great time. So, fired up for it. AO, I expect that you are very fired up for it.
Yes, sir. I have enjoyed both AEW Blood and Guts. So I never left those matches thinking, oh, that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Or that was just like they knocked out. I'm not gonna say, I've really enjoyed them, right? But I never thought that they lived up to the potential that the matches could have lived up to. I think they're gonna knock it out the park tonight. I think we're gonna be just pissing on the grave of War Games 1992 after this match.
Why is it
Anything
always
less
92?
would be a disappointment because it's the only one I know, Joe. That's why it's always 92.
We have to do a Twitch
what I
watch along. We have to do a
Yes.
Twitch watch along of War Games
Yes.
92.
I'm with
Absolutely.
it, bro. I'm with
Okay,
it. We
cool.
can definitely do that. Yeah, man, I'm fired up. I'm ready to see some real fucking professional wrestling.
It's gonna be a good time.
We got any more guesses to who will be starting this thing? Of course, I've locked in for like the past 2 weeks now. I think it'll be Utah and it'll be. I'll say Nick, but one of the books.
I think Claudio's opening for
I could definitely
Blackpool
see
Combat Club.
Claudio Hangman.
Yeah. Claudio really prides himself on that deal. He did it last year. I think it'll be him
Yeah.
again. I think if it's Hangman, I want to get ahead of myself, but I think that may be the match on Friday. It feels like, I mean, the fact that Tony is willing to wait until like Thursday suggests to me that he's happy that what they're going to announce is big time, right? That's what makes me think. So I think we're either going to get Claudio and Hangman on Friday or Claudio and Ibushi, dare I say. So I think the opening pairing may kind of, if it's Hangman, I think that's a clue, but that's just a guess.
Yeah.
We'll see. It could be anyone, and I think we'll all still will be happy to go with it. The reason why I say I'm gonna lock in Matt as my book. Matt and Wheeler Yuta, because I'll just think of the hot tags. Well, obviously they're not literally tags, but it's the same.
That's what the match is. Yeah.
Like Nick coming in and doing his sequence.
Yeah, Nick will do.
Insane shit with a double ring in there. Yeah, that's a good
There
one.
you go, man. And obviously Claudio is an animal.
Hangman's got a great hot tag too.
Yeah,
great hot tag.
I think the last guys are actually going to be the last guys that were announced. I think Pac and Ibushi are going to be the last guys for both teams.
And then you probably would do.
She'll be last.
Would you do Moxley and Omega Black as both the fourths or the thirds? They should probably come in one after the other, I think, right?
Yeah. I think they'll be thirds. I think Takeshita is going to be the fourth for Blackpool Combat Club. I almost said the Elite. No, that ship sailed a while ago.
Still no indication of who's got advantage? Or
No.
Coin toss, brother.
They're just going to flip a coin, yeah.
That's the way it should be done.
Just as God intended.
Fuck the Nick Jackson Claudio match. Let's flip a coin,
Arn Anderson,
the real way.
He must have won 26 coin tosses in a row in that War Games match. He never won the match, but he was prolific with a coin toss. Let me tell you, folks, it was incredible.
What a beast! What else have we got on this show? We've got the blind tag team tournament eliminator final. It's Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara versus MJF and Adam Cole. Today may be the day that we see the double clothesline. Today may be the day that it all falls apart. Ayo, where do you see this one playing out?
I think they're going to keep this sale going. For the Royal Rampage, right, where the winner gets an AEW World Heavyweight Championship title shot. I've seen a lot of theories that Roddy Strong's going to go ahead and win it. So I think they're gonna keep the MJF Adam Cole on Better Than You Baby thing going. Roddy's gonna get his maybe 2-week program in, and Adam's gonna do the whole, MJF's a piece of shit, but he also maybe he's changed. He's doing a lot better lately. We're still winning. We're still in this together. And then MJF just does typical piece of shit, heel MJF shit to retain against Roddy, and that's the downfall between this whole tag team that everybody's grown to love.
So do we think they've got to be winning this, isn't they?
Yeah,
they're winning tonight.
Yeah.
At the very least, you have to get them versus FTR is a big collision main event. You have to get that at least out of this. I don't think it should end there, but even if it was, you have to get that far at least. There's no point ending it on the same night as Blood and Guts, right? It's just so. Yeah, I think they're winning. I may save the double closesline because I think they might be winning those belts.
Yeah.
It's hard.
You think they can win?
Yeah, because the challenging thing is, it's you want to have a world title match on Wembley.
Right.
But if we're being completely honest about the way this is all set up, if you want to do Punk and MJF in Chicago, the Wembley match may be better off being the tag title rematch against FTR, because then you can start building the Punk match before. Like if you do the cold turn in like 2 weeks, you have a month to build that to finish that deal and then build a CM Punk match. Like it isn't ideal. You'd rather have a world title match on Wembley, but it may be worth sacrificing for this thing that has blown up. I mean, people love the Cole and MJF tonight. I think you give them the belts, you can switch them back at Wembley, and it helps you build the Punk MJF thing ahead of time. That would be my preference at this point, even though I know it's flawed. So that's where I'm at.
I'm sorry,
like you could absolutely like lean into that, like with like the Punk Jay White stuff. If they run that at Wembley, do it as like a fucking eliminator match for the belt the week after.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's easy to write, like with everything they've got moving around at the moment. It just depends what parts they slot into where, I guess.
Yeah.
People are eating this up though, man. People are loving it. MJF is absolutely killing it. Adam Cole is doing probably his best stuff in AEW so far. It's just working, man. Keep it rolling, and hopefully you get big payoffs coming out of it. I think you can do quite a lot of interesting and good things. I think for the match tonight, I think it'll be really, really good, to be honest. Because they're either would it be fair to guess that Blood and Guts is going to open this show, so they kind of have the time to kind of do what they want with it?
I think you want to build to that from a television point of view.
What did they do last time?
It main evented. Yeah,
it main event.
Then you got to close with it. And honestly, that's part of why you can't do a turn tonight. Not that you should, but like the first hour really needs to be about. Yeah, it needs to be pushing Blood and Guts the first hour, right? It has to be. Tag match will be really good. I think it must be the first time Garcia and Max have done the dance, right? I'm assuming in any kind of formal fashion. I think it is, but I look forward to that. I think the match will be tremendous. But the beauty of the MJF Adam Cole team is they can have matches the crowd loves without actually doing that much because they love them. It's like you can kind of take a slow stroll with these two, and the crowd loves it because that's the dynamic. So this will be a good time.
This might be the most I've ever enjoyed MJF on a weekly basis, like during anything ever. Just there's no Reddit jokes. There's no sports team bad. There's no 15-minute waffle-alongs. Like it's just entertaining shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I guess of course with there not being so much announced for tonight, that he gives them the security blanket of knowing that Blood and Guts is going to have the time it needs. So of course that's the one other match that's been announced. The tournament final. Then we've got Hook versus Jack Perry, and I know there's a lot of talk about Jack Perry potentially getting a new heater in this match. It seems to make a lot of sense. Could be Hook's first loss tonight. What are we thinking, Charlie?
Yes, I do think this is going to be Hook's first loss tonight, unfortunately. I don't know about whether he's going to get a heater, but I do think we see Anna Jay tonight. And that could be how Hook ends up losing the belt. But I think it has the potential for a fun time, especially if Hook goes out there and just tries to beat the shit out of Jack Perry. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Jack Perry approaches this one. What do you reckon, Joe? Yeah,
it's interesting because I both like the choice to start with him as a heel against someone as popular as Hook, but I also think it's kind of bold in the sense that this is a new role for Jack, and he's wrestling a guy who's new in general, right? And Hook is new to bigger matches and more substantial matches, so it's an interesting challenge. I'm pretty confident in them because Jack is very, very strong in ring. I think Anna Jay is the finish of the match. I'm not totally convinced they do, a pin. I think there's a chance that Hook wins by DQ because of Anna Jay. I could just see them wanting that streak to live a little longer. I mean, it doesn't bother me because it's like the Hook appeal has to be about much more than just the record. And I think it is, honestly. So I wouldn't mind either way, but I could see them doing a DQ just to kind of, make that streak live a little longer. But I think Anna Jay shows up regardless.
We'll see how it plays out. Still waiting and willing to be won over by Jack Perry as a heel. It's quite the drastic change. We'll see how it goes tonight. Let's go into some more super chats. Keep them coming. before we get out of here, move over to the Twitch. Mazfan84 199, best shooter in wrestling right now outside of Brock.
It's Riddle, ain't it?
Oh.
Probably, yeah.
The freaky
Mate, he's
frog
fought and
himself.
won in the UFC, you know. So.
It don't get much realer than that.
What about Bob Lash had some shoot fights, didn't he? He had some, not a lower level, but Bob Lash is. I like Bob Lash more than Matt Riddles. Let's just say him.
He's also a heavyweight, so you know.
Yeah, and his strikes look kind of good too. So that also gives him a. Never mind. Okay.
We'll rock with it, bro. You know.
Shout out Bob Lash.
Hager is obviously he's a shooter.
Undefeated MMA.
He gave up his MMA career to be in the JAS. He's a loyal soldier, man. We got to bring him up.
I feel like we're missing someone obvious. Ronda. Gable's obviously a really high level grappler, like Olympic level grappler. So obviously he's
Alexa Bliss used to throw a hell of a forearm. Just working through my kind of heavy hitters here. I don't know. They're the big ones, I think.
Someone said Nakajima's background's karate, isn't it?
Look, we all heard the rumors, we all heard the reports.
Baszler's
was offered a UFC contract.
Baszler's record isn't that great, is it?
She was a pioneer, but she definitely fell off dramatically, yeah. I mean, she still kicked, you know.
Gabe Stevenson, obviously, he's a fucking, you know.
Yeah.
He's definitely a person, you know. Who else we got? Marina Shafir, her MMA career was...
Hers is worse, yeah. Here's what it is.
Kenny Borgard Omega. Shuri? That's actually a good joke.
She's in the UFC too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bobby Lashley though is probably number 2 though. To be honest.
The thing is with Bob is
another heavyweight at a decent level. You know, like
Bob's an interesting one because he doesn't really wrestle. Like he's talked about how he kind of had to reprogram himself when he's outside WWE to just be a traditional wrestler. You know, like Bob doesn't really wrestle like a shooter, does he anymore? He kind of wrestles like a traditional big man. So we had like 10 answers there.
We're trying to run through because there's a lot of people who do like the gimmicks, and there's a lot of people who do the gimmicks, and there's a lot of people who train MMA, but there's a lot of people who
Tiffany
Ken Shamrock. I don't think he's
when Karrion Kross was that shoot cross jacket on you.
Yep.
Tom
Luke
Lawler.
Gallows. You seen Luke Gallows' head kick? Marco Crow Cop, brother.
Dan Severn, of course.
Yeah, Tom Lawler was actually a good answer, to be fair.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm locking in probably Lashley or Barnett as my number 2.
No one brought up Punk.
Hey, you have to bring John Moxley. 1.
Oh, get the fuck out of him.
Beginners, 30 and above, heavyweight grappling tournament. There's some
good names in the chat.
When there's
Jericho.
A shooter out there, there's a shooter.
Spears. Bobby Fish. This is
he's fresh out of a fight, you know.
These folks should be on the show, bro.
Don't forget
Logan Paul.
Who knocked out at Mealtime on Creator Clash.
Yeah. There's some tough guys in this business, you know.
Hey, man, Logan Paul went the distance in Mayweather, bro, you know. He went the distance, bro.
Bro, I've never been so annoyed than when Mayweather knocked him out on his feet and was like, no, get up, we gotta fight to finish, brother.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett, it's another good one.
Is it?
Yeah, bro. MMA. Did you ever see his MMA shtick? Did you actually never seen this one? This would pop you tremendously.
I don't think I have, to be entirely honest.
They did a gimmick where he tapped out Kurt and he became like MMA Jeff and he had like sparring partners. You know how the Gracies would come out in the UFC 1? Like all of them would come out online? They would do that at the Impact Zone. Jeff Jarrett.
I'm gonna have to dig that out.
You would like that, yeah.
Lola Voice, hey man, she was
Yeah.
she was doing a thing, bro.
Bro,
Considering she's just fucking around in NXT, or you know, no, I don't know.
Was it last night that Elektra Lopez lost to Thea Howe?
Yes.
So I was watching the Tiffany Stratton segment because I like to have like bullets in my arsenal to fire at Monty if things go awry. So I clicked on it and it started with a match and I was like, it's the first time I've seen Elektra Lopez with Lola Vice. Like, this is a cool act, and they had like a promo. I said, oh, they seem like they're into this kind of thing. I looked away and I looked back. She'd lost before I'd even looked at the ring. I couldn't believe it. The match was like 30 seconds long. Here's what it is, folks. That's NXT for you.
Developmental, brother.
Yeah, here's what it is.
Margaret, 199. Appreciate you. Joseph, my favourite and dearest nephew. Let's go for tea.
You know what? These super chats continue. I might be the biggest shooter in the game, quite frankly. Pretty fired up.
Darren Cagey, $2. I'm late, but blood and guts with Ibushi. Raw. Yeah, man. We're here for it, bro. Soon switching over to Twitch.
Ibushi's a shooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his shoulders hanging off.
Low key.
Low key.
Oh my god.
The shooter only in his own mind.
Whoever asked this question is regretting it so much. I've just halted the program, just throw names out there.
It's how it's meant to be done, What else we got, man? let's move on. Ron, $4.99. Joey. Sorry I missed your FaceTime call. Give me another ring after Blood and Guts ends. By the way, Marjorie says thanks for the chocolates you sent her.
Jesus Christ.
Just a shake of the head,
That's all I've got.
It's all he's got. But yeah, man, that's a super chat, I believe. I think. Any other interesting names in the live chat?
Carl Anderson, bad son of a bitch, folks. Let me tell you, him and I, we've stood back to back in some of those. That's a shootout. I mean, that machine gun thing that's real deal. Be careful.
Just 70 beers deep in the streets of Roppongi.
You just got to, if you don't approach it, I mean, it depends how many 8x10s he has left, but if you don't approach him with the right amount of money, things can go right. I've seen it happen. Here's what it is.
Yeah, he's one of the last of the real, bro. So we're dealing
I've heard that about him.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's, he's a real throwback,
Yeah.
Real throwback. But yeah, let's do this transition, man. Let's do this transition. If you're not already following, subscribe to us on Twitch. Go and do that. We've just been made affiliates because we're professionals. Our follow count is growing, and we're doing the dance over there. We're doing these watch alongs. I don't know why it took us so long at Wrestle Purists to get these watch alongs going, but we're doing them, and they've been good times, man. Even to the point where AO hosted a fucking 8-hour watch along
fucking stream
over the weekend.
That shit was crazy. We aren't even affiliated yet. Just did it for the love of the game.
Just the love of the game. Logging in those hours, bro.
That was a great time. Chat was really interactive. Like, the more you guys talk to us, the longer we go with them. So.
Someone asked me the other day, like, Joe, you going to hop on the Wrestle Purist Twitch? And I was like, are they affiliated yet? No, I just don't.
Hey, man, you might show up tonight. This will be our first affiliated stream.
When it comes to this content creation, only two things matter to Joe. Money and miles, baby.
Oh, yeah.
No money, just no miles.
Absolutely.
Listen, bro, it did hit. Someone said in the chat, just the process. Streets need Monty NXT watch along for next week so we can see the Freak Frog in his element. Bro, after last night, seeing the timeline, myself and Rob just fucking popping here. I was like, listen.
Yeah, you should actually do that. I would actually do that with you just for the pop. Yeah, I would do that. Good stuff.
Be a good time.
Oh, man. Definitely something I'd consider. Watch alongs just aren't my... we've got real professionals like AO and Charlie and Manny the Hooper, and I know Joe's been known to do one in the past. We've got enough people on the team, But if I was to do a watch along, it would be for something bizarre like NXT or a shitty TNA or like something that's just fucking pop. But yeah, man. Shanato says in the chat, Joe's waiting for partnership. Hey, man, you're waiting on it, waiting on that Twitch partnership.
I've
Can
paid
afford
my
Horbutt's
dues,
wages, man.
I've paid my dues, folks. When this show ends, I don't say this publicly. When this show ends, every time it's Wrestle Pure tradition, all my co-hosts thank me for the house. It's very, very nice. I appreciate it. AO has actually been known to even send me like a tip on top of my regular pay for doing such a good job.
We just wouldn't be drawing this without you, brother. Like, it's only right.
It just means a lot to me. It's good stuff.
Yeah. And you can show appreciation for Joe drawing these big houses for Wrestle Purists by liking this video before you get out of here. So please like your video on the way out. Of course, Dynamite starts in about 10 minutes. Our Twitch stream will start in probably a couple minutes. Yeah. And over on Twitch, it's going to be AO, Charlie, Manny the Hooper, Marcus of Unpuris, and man, they're going to get into some blood and guts. I'm sure there's going to be some cameos from other people, as always is with our watch-alongs. And it's going to be a good time, of course. We appreciate everyone who's tapped into this show, our pre-Dynamite show. Again, please like the video if you haven't already. Like on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate all the super chats as always. Just make sure we haven't got any more that I've missed. All good. Yeah, appreciate all the super chats. Please hit the notification bell for when we do our posts. And man, at WrestlePurist, WrestlePurist.com. And we will catch you over on Twitch very, very shortly. And man, peace out.
Peace.